What's cracking like on YouTube? This is your friendly neighborhood ball of chaos, absolute destruction. I am bringing you the week one power rankings, and I know it says post draft power rankings on there. Ignore that. Should be a week one. I'll fix that. I guess mid text. Week one. There we go. Week one power rankings. There we go. All fixed. I want to thank you all for coming out to the video. I apologize for it coming out a little bit late. I want to try to get these out on Sunday to Monday, but this coming out on Tuesday. I was out of town during the weekend, so I wasn't here for majority of the battles when they happened, so I had to rewatch them all and all that. So I apologize for that. So we have officially the week one of the ISL season 3, season 3. And it was a very interesting set of battles. Some of them were down to the wire, really close. Some of them were not that close as it may seem. Now, I want to remind you all that these are my opinions. They do not reflect my personal opinions about certain people. It's just based off of what I've seen on their team previews and their battling videos. Will depend on that. If they didn't have a battling video, I just had to base it off of what decisions were made in the actual battle. I didn't get to hear their actual side on it. So that's pretty much that. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? And we're going to start out with number 16, the San Francisco 49tails. Now, I originally had Boo a lot higher on the list, but unfortunately, he did have to forfeit week one. And if it was later in the season and he had some wins and he was pretty consistent and he just had to forfeit 1 week, that'd be fine. But I didn't feel like it was fair to leave him higher up compared to other people who did go into the battle and try the hardest to win but end up losing when he just wasn't able to be there. Hopefully he'll be here for week 2 so that we can actually move him up on the rankings and see how well he does in battle, but that's the reason why we have a number 16. I'm not going to say anything else about that. Next was the Among Us Kingdom, who unfortunately he didn't post a video. I didn't post a video on his side of the battle or anything like that, so it's very hard to really judge what happened in this battle. From what I could tell, he did try to play very well. He tried to bring some interesting sets, Megahorn Absol, Fake Out Mr. Mime, stuff like that. A somewhat defensive Dragon Knight, which is interesting. Very interesting sets, and they're very creative. I'll have to give him that. It's pretty creative. Unfortunately, he went against Burke this week, who was the champion last season, and Burke won 6-0. So, due to that, I can't really confidently say that he deserves to be any higher. Hopefully we can see Oz come back up. If it wasn't 6-0, I probably would have put him a little higher. Because his sets were interesting. I think he played decently well. I think he just made some misplays throughout the battle and stuff like that. But his planning seemed to be smart. The only thing different was probably bringing Magnezone might have been a little better for his team. He might have not been 6-0'd, but hindsight's 2020. I've been 6-0 before, so I know the struggle of that. And the music stopped. Oh no, there we go. Okay. So Oz in the Moon Kingdom, we'll see how well you do next week. Don't take it to heart that I have you so low. I mean, you sort of didn't really move in a lot of spots. I think I just had you at the exact same spot you were last time. So, you didn't move up, you didn't move down, just sort of just stayed where you are. Next, I moved the Palestinian Mogas. They jumped up 2 spots to the number 14 spot. And I'll have to give them credit. They actually surprised me this week. They didn't bring Emolga, which I was very happy about. They went against the Utah Wees, and it was a very decent battle. I think he played decently well. He brought some pretty standard sets, in my opinion, but they worked out for him. He was able to rack up some kills on his team. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to do much against Mega Pinsir. The mons that he needed Mega Pinsir to wall Mega Pinsir with, he sort of let down early on in the battle. So I can't really put him any higher right now. He played decently well. It's just Mega Pinsir was a bit of a struggle for him, and I'd like to see how well he does next week. Well, next time he faces the Utah Wees, and see if he can come up a little better against Mega Pinsir, and hopefully that will move him up higher in the rankings. Number 13, we have Hayden and the Texas Rhyhorns. Now, Hayden went against the Cheeky Landos this week, and again, another really good battle. I think both of these players played very well. Very standard sets on both sides, from what I could tell. I liked how Hayden brought the trio. Didn't really do much for his team. He was able to get a kill with it, but it wasn't the most useful thing against the Cheeky Landos team. But everything else, I think he had a decent team to go against him. I was wondering why he didn't bring his Mega, because his Mega could have done really well this week, but that's just my personal opinion. But I think he played decently well. It was just very hard to deal with some of the big threats on Cheeky Lando's team, because he didn't really bring a whole lot of walls, but he did bring some power to his team. And they just sort of broke through Hayden's team a little bit. But it was only a 2-0 victory, so it wasn't that bad for him, and that's why I have him at number 13. And I'm just going to say now, these videos are probably going to be a lot shorter than the post-drive video was, because there's not much really to say right now, at least for first week. Once these videos go on, some of them will get a little longer, some of them will get a little shorter, yada, yada, yada. Next was the New Orleans Pidgeys, who went against Cam in the Manaphy City. And this is a very, very good battle. I liked the New Orleans Pidgeys team. He brought some very interesting stuff. He brought Colberry, Mew, which was good. He brought Arcanine, and Vaporeon, which is a good wall core for him. He brought some very strong hitters in Staraptor and Alakazam. I personally thought that maybe he could have planned a little bit more strategically. I feel like he sort of brought some standard stuff that you normally see. If he brought some stuff that was sort of outside the box, he might have surprised Cam and done a little bit better. But it was only a 1-0 victory for Cam. Emboar just wrecked through New Orleans Pidgeys' team. He brought the right moves that he needed on Emboar to deal with the team, and it worked out well for him. He kept his walls that he needed up a lot longer than he probably originally anticipated. He tried to play the differential, but in the end, it didn't really work out in his favor. But he still was able to pick up a 1-0 victory against Blaze, and I think Blaze did all right. I think he just played the standard set, and his team is still really destructive. So I'll have to see how well he goes against his next week battle. Next, we have Bob and the Atlanta Shocks. Now, Bob came back after taking a season off. He came back, and he had a very interesting team. He had a pretty wally team, I gotta say. There was no replay link, so unfortunately, I couldn't watch the battle. So I don't really know what happened in the battle. I'm just basing this off of what I see, like what killed, what died, and what got kills. Mega Manetric didn't pick up a kill, which is very rare to see. Mega Manetric normally can at least get 1 kill per week or whatever. And so it was sort of unfortunate he didn't get a kill. Houndoom got a kill, which was very surprising. Houndoom got a kill, Manshao and Scissorwolf got 2 kills. And then Melodic on the Green Bay Palkia's team got a kill. And then everything but Kecleon got a kill on the Green Bay Palkia's team. So I think they both played really well. They both played the strengths of their Pokemon from what I can tell. And then brought some surprising stuff to help deal with the other team. And it was only a 1-0 victory, so I don't know what took out what. I don't know what exactly happened in the battle because I don't see a replay link. So there's not much I can say about the battle. But I know that Bob and Atlanta Shocks does decently well, and he takes risks by not playing what you normally think. So I'm sure that he was able to get some of those kills by staying in or switching out when you normally don't think they would. So we'll have to see what happens next week. And maybe he'll move up, maybe he'll move down. We'll just have to see how the rest of the season goes. Next, we have the Seattle Superiors, who was another team who took a season off from Season 2 and came back in Season 3. And again, another game which was actually seemed to be pretty close. Mega Charizard X, Fortress got 2 kills, and then Drapion and Azumarill got some kills. This was the very first battle that I watched, and I think both of them played decently well. They both used the mons the way they're supposed to be used. And I think it was just mainly coming down to who had the better team overall, and in my opinion, that was the Death Starmies. I think just overall he had the better team this week. I think they both played well from what I could tell, and they both played well. It just came down to who had the better models on the team, and I personally think the Death Armies did, and that's why they won this week. But I don't think this is going to stop Seattle Superiors and Braden from really not doing well this season. I think they'll be able to do just fine and bounce back. It's only week one, and with a really good team that he has, I think he can come back next week and do some pretty good work. Lastly, on this set for number 9, we have the Cincinnati Red Gigasu. Unfortunately, due to Boo unable to battle, they just got a forfeit win. And that's why I have him at number 9, is because it's a little unfortunate that it's not his fault that Boo had a forfeit, but it's the same thing that goes for why I put Boo at number 12. I can't honestly say put Damon above anyone else that won a match just because his opponent wasn't here. So I had to put him a little lower on the rankings, and it's nothing against Damon. I'm sure next week he'll boost that up once he actually is able to get into a battle. It's just I had to put him somewhere, and I feel like 9 is sort of in the middle-ish, almost in the middle, and I'll say roughly around the middle, and that's pretty much why he deserves to be in that spot, like 8-9 spot, just because he was unfortunately not here. So there's not much that really can be done with that. But I'm sure next week, once he battles, we'll get a better understanding of how his team is and how it battles and all that. Now, moving on to the top 8. I put the Cheeky Landos number 8, who they defeated the Texas Rhyhorns. This is his first time in this league. I don't know much about his background in league format, but this is his first time in the ISL. And his team played really well. Kieran played really well. Stormy played really well. GlitchxCity got 2 kills, which is sort of surprising. GlitchxCity normally just sits there and walls things, but he was able to get some kills. I put him sort of low just because he didn't dominate the match. It was sort of a back and forth until near the end. But there's not much really can be done at that point. I think Hayden played his strengths, and then the Cheeky Landos played their strengths. So it mainly just came down to who had the advantage. And oh, god damn it, Spotify. God damn it, Spotify. Let's mute that sound. I'm have Spotify up, and it decided to play an ad. I think both of them played really well. It just came down to who was able to get that little bit of momentum on their side to overtake the other, and I think that's what happened with the Cheeky Landos. They were just able to pick up the momentum, and that's pretty much all it was. So he's in the middle just to see where he goes, because I'm not sure much about his battling skills, so we'll have to see how well he goes from the rest of there. Number 7, I have the Royal Star Raptors, and I originally had them at number 4, but they lost, unfortunately, but they lost to the Dallas Victory Stars, and this was a very big battle for this week, because both these teams are very good. Unfortunately, Ramon just wasn't able to get it really moving with his team. He was able to get a kill with Extra Drill, but nothing else on his team really was able to do much against the Dallas Victory Stars. Xavier just had the right sets and the right thing to do to battle his team. Halucha, Gothitelle, Shaman, and Jirachi all got kills, which just dominated through Ramon's team. And I know Ramon's a lot better battler than this, and I know it's probably just due to he wasn't sure what to bring against Dallas Victory Stars, or he got unlucky this week. We'll have to see how well his team goes against his next opponent, see if whether he continues to move down the rankings or move up. So we'll just have to see how the rest of that goes for him. Next is the Death Starmie, and that's Korn. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We sort of talked about his battle with Braden. He's a newcomer here, and him and Braden had a really good battle. It wasn't spectacular. It was sort of like a back and forth type battle, and in the end, the Starmies just had the better team. That's why they were able to pick up the win. Raikou didn't die, didn't get a kill. Quagsire died, but I mean that's what cards are supposed to do. It's supposed to just sit there and tank hits until it goes down while you dwindle something else down. Drapion got a kill. Fortress got 2 kills. Mega Charizard X got 2 kills. And Azumarill got a kill. So they both played decently well. I just think the Death Star armies had planned better, and they created a better team to go against the Sales Superiors, because there's a lot of, I don't want to say common weaknesses, but the Death Star armies used the weaknesses that the Seattle Superiors have to their advantage, and that's what brought them over to top for this victory this week. Next is the Utah Wees. Now, the Utah Wees went against the Palestinian Mogas, and this was a decent match. We talked about it earlier, how the Palestinian Mogas just didn't have much for Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir wrecked through the team. Mega Pinsir is a phenomenal mon, and it's sort of like things like Mega Gardevoir and stuff like that, where unless you have a solid switch into it, it can't take a aerial elite return or a close combat or a U-turn or anything like that. Mega Pinsir is going to wreck through your team because it's a strong hitting physical attacker. And I think that's what brought him out to get the victory over the Palestinian Mogas, because he used his other mons to help whittle down and lower the HP of some of Maple's mons, and then Mega Pinsir was able to come in and shoot the rest of his team because it's a very fast, strong hitting mon. And I think that's what if he continues to use it to his advantage, he's going to do really, really well this season. I can see him moving it all the way to number 1, depending on how everyone else does. But he can definitely do well. And this is just week 1. He's shown how well he can use Mega Pinsir. And I'm excited to see how well he uses it the rest of the season. Number 4 is the Green Bay Palkias. Now, I have them at number 4 because in Season 1, the Atlanta Sharks was in the finals. And then, unfortunately, didn't win, but they were in the finals. Then they lost, and now they're back. I personally, in my opinion, I think the Green Bay Palkias did a lot better job of winning this battle. Just seeing how Melodic got 2 kills. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the battle, just due to there's just no replay link. But the fact that Melodic got 2 kills, Celebi got a kill, Scullopy got a kill, Chandelure got a kill, and Claydol got a kill. 2 of those mons, I would never imagine getting kills in a battle unless you do something cheeky with them, or they just do really well for some reason. And I think that's what Melodic and Claydol were. They just did really well, and I'm surprised because they're normally walls. They don't normally do much. They normally just sit there. Melodic can be good as a special attacker. Claydol, not so much. It sets up rocks, sets up screens, pretty much it. So the fact that Claydol got a kill is actually surprising. It could have just been like due to stealth rocks or something like that. That might be why Claydol got a kill. I don't know. I can't see the battle. But I'm happy that Green Bay Palkias got a kill, that won this battle. I think they played, from what I can tell, they played really well. And it was a 1-0 victory, but they were able to come out with the victory. And I sort of have more detailed weeks just because I can't see what the Green Bay Palkias are doing. I mean, honestly, the Utah Wees and Green Bay Palkias are sort of tied for 4th and 5th. They can either go either way. I just had to, I guess you can say by alphabetical order, Green Bay Palkias come first. So really, you can say for 4th and 5th, like, is a tied position. Green Bay Palkias and Utah Wees are sort of tied. They can go either or. We'll just have to see how well they both do next week, and that'll depend on which one goes over the top or over the other. So, number 3 was my original number 1. He dropped 2 spots, not because he lost or played badly. It's just the other 2 players did very, very well this week. Menifee City Cam went against the New Orleans Pidgeys Blaze, and he played really well. Emboar got 4 kills. He used his walls accordingly. He knew what he needed to do to take down the New Orleans Pidgeys, and he played really well. Unfortunately, it was only a 1-0 victory. That's because Blaze played very well as well. I can't speak. So I think Cam played very, very well. And he would have been higher on the list as number 2 and number 1 if it wasn't for these other 2 guys who are above them just playing a little bit better. Not saying the Menifee City can't get back to number 1 spot. They easily could. Emboar getting 4 kills is a phenomenal thing because Emboar is a destructive power with that Reckless ability. And being Choice Scarf is very interesting because normally you don't see Emboar as a Choice Scarf user. So seeing as Emboar as a Choice Scarf Reckless is pretty badass, I gotta say. Nidoqueen getting a kill. I think what also was the New Orleans Patriots just didn't bring the right mods to handle the Manaphy City's team, and I think that's what might have cost him. I like the Nidoqueen set with the Shuka Berry, I think that's how you pronounce it, that makes it 50% less of ground type moves, because that was really useful, because if you didn't bring that, and the New Orleans Patriots brought Terrakion with Earthquake, that would have done a lot to Nidoqueen. But unfortunately, they didn't bring Terrakion, and I think just overall, the Emboar just wrecked through his whole entire team, and once the Vaporeon was low enough, Emboar wasn't much of an issue, and then in the very end, it died due to recoil. That's the only reason why it died. Not like someone took it out, it just died to recoil due to all the Flare Blitzes and Wild Charges and stuff that he did, so that's why I have him at number 3. Number 2 is the Dallas Victory Stars and Xavier. Now, I like how Dallas Victory Stars, from watching their battle, they played to their advantage. They made the correct switches. They just overplayed the Rotom Staraptors, in my opinion. I don't think the Rotom Staraptors had a bad team. I just think the Dallas Victory Stars had a better team. And I think overall that they just played to their strengths. They knew what they needed to do. Xavier just knew what he needed to do to make sure that he kept the mons that are alive. He played for differential majority of the time. Fraligan and Donphan didn't get a kill but didn't die. Gothitelle and Hawlucha got 2 kills. Shaman's the only thing that died but still was able to pick up a kill. And then Jirachi got a kill. I think that's phenomenal. You don't really see Jirachi and Shaman getting very many kills. Neither is Gothitelle. You don't really imagine, oh, Gothitelle is probably going to be a wall or just a Destiny Bond user. No, it was a really good special attacker for this week and helped Xavier really move his way up and win this battle. I think he just played to his strengths, made the right predictions, and just outplayed the Rotom Staraptors. And that's why he's number 2. Now, unfortunately, he would have been number 1, but the New England Patriots had to take the number 1 spot just due to the last season's champ, and they got a 6-0 victory this week. I think they played phenomenally. Mega Audino getting 3 kills was phenomenal. I'll admit, I was a skeptic of Mega Audino. I never thought it would be a decent Mega in League format. And Burke used it very, very well. Oz sort of just let things die to it instead of trying to attack it. And that was sort of his downfall. Especially with Rockster up, he kept on switching the Dragonite and Mega Charizard Y in and out, in and out, in and out, and that sort of cost him a little bit with those mons. But I think Mega Audino playing very well. He used a max special defensive Assault Vest Gengar, which is phenomenal. Now, I never knew that Mirror Coat still worked even with an Assault Vest. I thought it wouldn't work because it's technically considered a non-damaging move, but it still worked. So I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I never knew that. The Intimidated Defensive Crocodile set, the Haxorus, which wasn't really, I don't think ever really hit the field. Thunderous picking up 2 kills, which was phenomenal. I think just the New England Patriots knew what they needed to do and just completely just decimated the Among Us Kingdom. Sorry about it. He really did. He just destroyed everything that the Among Us Kingdom was trying to do. And I liked the Choice Scarf Tentacruel set, but he didn't really play it to his full advantage, and he needed rocks away. He let Tentacruel go down when he needed rocks away. Because with rocks up when you have a Dragonite and a Mega Charizard Y is a very, very bad thing, because they take a lot of damage due to rocks, especially with Mega Charizard Y. It takes a lot of damage due to rocks, so you can't let rocks stay on your field. And Burke knew that, and that's why once he got rocked up, he made sure that, oh, Tentacruel's in. He's probably going to go for Rapid Spin here. Let me switch into Gengar, Spin Block. And then he just kept on Icy winning with Mr. Mime and just letting Mr. Mime go down. When Mr. Mime could have done a lot more work on his team than he originally let it happen. So I just think overall Burke played very, very, very well. He knew exactly what he needed to do, and he made sure that at any point, he could have let one Mon sack, and I was like, oh, well, I'll get a 5 victory or whatever. No, he made sure he got a 6-0 victory, and that's why he's number 1 in the league and number 1 on the power rankings. But with that, that's pretty much all I got for you all. Again, it says, I'll fix the stuff for next video. I truly do appreciate you all coming out to watch the video. I'm sorry I rambled a little bit. This only the second time I ever done a power ranking, so hopefully the next one for next week will be a little bit more, what's the word, organized. I think when I have more time next week, I'll be able to be more organized with it. Like I said, I was out of town this weekend, and I'm just trying to get this up as quickly as possible for you all. So if you disagree with anything I say, go ahead and put in the description below and let me know, and I can fix that for you. Well, not fix it for you, but we can have a discussion about why you think someone should deserve to be higher or whatnot. And put your own power rankings down below and let me know who you have as number 1, who you have as number 16, and everything in between. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching the video. It's been chaotic. I'll see you next time.